everybody's ready, we'll go ahead and have Coach Kelsey start us off with an opening statement.
Yeah, I think the first thing I want to mention is what a great cause that was a part of this game. I just did my radio interview with Bob Valvano. First time I met him, I felt like I was meeting basketball royalty because, as I said on the radio interview, the name Valvano is synonymous with college basketball. I told him my first memory of the NCAA tournament was we went on a little family spring vacation in early April to Hilton Head in 1983. It was cold and rainy and it was awful, but it was the Final Four in Albuquerque, and NC State made that shot at the buzzer, and Bob's brother Jim ran around the court like crazy, and I remember it like it was yesterday. And then obviously one of the most impactful sports speeches maybe ever was the speech that Jimmy V gave at the ESPYs, and I can almost recite it. Most of us can. It's just such a nasty, horrible, wretched disease, and cancer is something that has touched everybody in this room, everybody everywhere. In this cause, Kentuckiana Friends of V, that Bob is such a champion of, is special to his heart. Helps people dealing with cancer, helps for cancer research. So, anybody listening to this, Bob told me the early returns of the donations have been really good. So we'll make sure everybody has the website. Please go and donate. So I'm glad we were able to do this with Jimmy V, formerly a coach at Bucknell. It was really good. John does an unbelievable job. I didn't get a chance to talk to him after the game, but he's a really good coach. He's got that program going in the right trajectory. I think he runs really good stuff. His ATOs, his baseline out of bounds. We stole one of his. I think he stole one of ours because we ran one of his plays and he ran one of our plays that we saw in preparation. But and I've known John for a long time. He was on the team that beat Kansas at Bucknell. My longtime friend and longtime associate head coach Mark Prosser, who's now the head coach at Winthrop, coached on that team and coached John. John was a fiery, tough, gritty dude. Came to Wake Forest and worked our basketball camp and got in a fight with every one of our players. So, I thought our guys played well. We defended, we deflected the ball. All of our metrics of effort were really, really good. We shared the ball, shot a very high percentage from three, but the thing I was most pleased with is that our assist percentage was really high. I think we assisted on 84% of our field goals.
We'll open up for questions. Does she have a microphone? Raise your hand. For Sean.
Coach, as you just touched on, 26 assists on 31 made baskets. It seemed like the team really made an emphasis to get into the paint, get those paint touches, and those skip passes were just dynamite tonight. Can you just talk about just the emphasis on that?
Yeah, early on, I didn't think we called force, like we gauge force in our ability to touch the paint. We have a number that we want to hit, and we find out throughout the game where we're at on getting to the paint and touching the paint, and then we look conversely from a defensive standpoint how we can limit their paint touches. And I felt like early on we were going a little bit that way. We really start getting downhill and hitting that paint, collapsing the defense, spraying out, sharing the ball is really when it started going. You're right.
Brooks.
Yeah, hey Pat, you spoke about just wanting to get different looks at a bunch of different things, and making sure that guys get their minutes. I'm just curious, as we head into the regular season now, how may that change just in terms of like your minutes played. And,
Yeah.
And will you say a smaller rotation?
I don't think we're at that point right now where I can tell you exactly what it's going to look like. I mean, we've been going since June 5th. Obviously, we've gone through 2 exhibition games and things like that. We evaluate everything every single day. What that looks like for next week, I'm not sure yet, but we've got a bunch of really good players.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on this type of exhibition season and what it gives to your team and the program, and really kind of all the programs that are doing it. When you play teams that you might encounter along the way, maybe in the in-state tournament or things like that as you go along?
Well, last year we played 2 non-division ones and won by a lot. We played 2 good teams. Obviously, Kansas lost that game. It was great. I mean, it wasn't great that we lost. I hate to lose, but we found a lot more about ourselves and things that we had to get fixed and things we had to address in playing a team of that caliber versus a non-division one, where maybe we wouldn't find out those same things till we get a little bit further down the road. So I thought that was a really, really good thing. And then, Bucknell's really good Division I program from a very, very good conference, really well coached. I mean, they run great stuff. I mean, it's a good test. So I don't think there's any question. It's good that you can do these things now for sure.
Brooks again.
Yeah, I'm in here Friday. I mean, we're worried about Michael's ability to bounce back from that performance. Could you just speak to how he carried himself over the past few days heading into the night, and being able to get into a rhythm and have such a huge performance?
How he carried himself the last couple of days since the last game?
Yeah,
like he always does, like a pro. That kid is way beyond his years in terms of maturity. Whatever he is, 18 years old, I don't know but like, he didn't carry himself like that. That kid is extremely regimented, unbelievably hardworking, just detailed in every bit of his life and his game. And I've told you guys what a phenomenal teammate and human being he is as well. So, I mean, that kid didn't blink an eye. He was out there shooting after the game, which I tried to get him out of there. Hey, Kelly, there's diminishing returns at some point. Make sure you get some sleep and get something to eat. But that's just his mentality. He's wired that way. Had a great couple days of practice, great attitude, played really well tonight.
Michael.
Samantha Fruit, seemed like there was some effort to get him more involved tonight. Had a couple oops. Could you just talk about his energy and his play out there this evening?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said this to Bob on the interview too. Like, everybody was asking about his production the other day because he only had 1 field goal attempt. In our kind of efficiency metric or score that we put together for all of our players, and it's how you impact the overall game. It's not just putting the ball in the basket is important. Let's be honest. You got to score more points than the other team to win the game. But I want to say he was like 2nd or 3rd on our team. How he affects our defense. He's a terrific ball screen defender. Deflects the ball, touches the ball. He's a elite screener. You look at all the threes guys got and the way he's able to free up our guards. So I think it's a little bit misleading to look at his stat line the other night and say he didn't affect the game. I thought he did really well. But yeah, there was a conscious effort to run some stuff for him. We ran a lob to start the game, get him going a little bit. Ran something for him to get a lob late. But he just doesn't complain. It's just how many. You want me to set 4,000 screens for these guards throughout the course of my 30 minutes that I played today? Okay, coach. What do you need now? And I said, go get some more offensive rebounds. But like those glasses.
Coach, it seemed like the guys, especially on the help side, were pinching down on the post when the big guys are hedging. On the backside, they were making a big point to kind of get into the paint and discourage those drafts. Can you just talk about the defensive
You better.
adjustments?
Yeah, you're on it. You're on it. It doesn't take 5 guards to guard a pick and roll. It takes 7. I'm a big believer. You need 7 guys to guard a pick and roll. And the extra 2 is your voice and your activity. If everybody's playing with unbelievable communication and voice, and your activity is a lot, and those are the 2 extra guys. But people talk about defending the pick and roll. It's not just the 2 guys. That's 2/5. There's 3 other guys, and when that pick and roll occurs, we always say, where do you got to be? And they say there. Being there, not getting spread out, because if you're not there and then you got to move to help, now they got you in 2-way help, and now they're get the advantage, the dominoes fall, and now you're in trouble. So that's, I like to think we were on it. I think it was perceptive that you saw that, but it's very, very important.
Brooks.
Yeah, Javon took only 4 shots against Kansas on Friday, and took 9 tonight. I'm just curious, were there conversations about trying to get him a more look at some offensively and just trying to get him involved? It seemed like there were times early in the first half against Kansas he was kind of just like off in the corner and wasn't getting as involved as maybe we wanted to.
Corners are extremely important in basketball, in offensive basketball. Keeping that corner filled and keeping your spacing. I don't know if he got stuck in the corner. I'm not sure. I want Javon to be ultra aggressive. I want him to be dangerous on every single catch. I think he was, when you talked to him after the game, he was trying to get other guys involved and get guys going, but he's a big part of what we do. So I thought he was more aggressive tonight, though, for sure.
Anything else for Coach? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Kel did a lot of damage off the ball tonight, just kind of get into the rhythm with like catch and shoot jumpers, handoffs, softball screens. Was that like an area of emphasis coming into the game to kind of get him into the flow of things, or that just? That's
just how we play. Our style of offense is very unique because it's extremely random. And we always say the beauty is in the randomness, and there's principles, there's concepts, but it's hard to scout us because sometimes somebody will call me afterwards or they'll put something on Twitter and be like, man, look at this set they run. Sometimes it's not even a set. It's the read and the randomness and the cutting, and it's a fun way to play. And even the other night against Kansas, you can see, I really believe our offense grows. It grows, and we get better and more comfortable because, I was talking to Sananda Frew the other day. He was like, man, where I play in Europe, it's extremely rigid. This is what I do, and I do this here. I'm like, bro, you came to Louisville. You're hooping. He goes, sometimes I get the ball and I'm going into a handoff and 3 guys cut, and I'm like, it'll come, man. Just keep. And pretty soon they start having fun, and you can just see the pep in their step and the smile on their face, and that's coming. It's like a fine wine. I don't drink a lot of wine, but I hear it. So I don't even know where I went with all that. But you were talking about Kelsey. You were talking about all the Kel stuff. He's cutting, he's moving, he's getting flares, throwing to the big, getting handoffs. We're going into ball screens, we're rolling, we're filming. It's freaking fun. I don't know why you want to play here. We run sets, and dead balls and after free throws and after timeouts and stuff like that. But other than that, man, it's go hoop.
Aaron, last one.
You talked a little bit about the field. I don't think I'm repetitive. It's almost like in 5-minute increments.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It's almost like in 5-minute increments in this game. You talked about the field. The guys just felt more comfortable. You don't practice in here every day, and it takes a little time, but it just looked like just the way they interacted with each other and the way they were running, and you can almost just see it. Is that something that
Yeah, I just think it's how things evolve, right? It's early. Second team we played against, guys are getting comfortable in their roles. Roles are being defined. They're developing off-court chemistry. They're developing on-court chemistry. That's every team in the country. We're not a finished product, but nobody is. I guess maybe some of the teams that are a little bit more rigid with what they do, okay, we have our thing and this is what we do. Maybe early on they go like this, but I really feel like we go like that as our guys get more and more comfortable. So, but yeah, I felt that today. You could see them playing with a little bit more rhythm. Helps when the ball's going in, and it went in a lot. As you know, we have an elite shooting team, and we have a selfless team. And we talk about force getting to the paint. Well, the other part is gravity, and the gravity is the way we're able to pull people away from the basket because of the shooting gravity we have, which opens up the paint. So there's a method to the madness, but it looked good tonight.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. See you guys. Thank you.